Are you feeling stuck in your career or are you stuck? Maybe you don't have the right people around you. Today, I want to talk about what I call the career leverage sphere. And I want you to really think about what do you need to do to surround yourself with the right people. Welcome to How to Get What You Want. This podcast is for driven women ready to claim their goals and navigate their careers with clarity and confidence. Join me as we explore real stories, tools, and strategies to help you steer your career exactly where you want to go. Let's get started on helping you get what you want. Hi, friend. How are you today? I am so excited that you're joining me today, and I'm getting such great feedback from the people that are in this circle, and I'd love to continue to hear from you. So please reach out to me. Tell me what you want to hear. What do you want me to share? I love this topic. It's about your career. And what secret I'm going to tell you right now is, I'm an executive coach. Do you know that senior people, they all have executive coaches? You know why? Because it helps them. It gives them a place to really download. It's so important to have somebody in your corner. So I'm going to talk about not just executive coaches and who that might be for you, but other people you need to have around you to accelerate your career, to help you see things differently, to give you access to your blind spots. One of the things that I've been really leaning into is my career level up. It's a mastermind. It's really a group coaching of like-minded women who want to grow and accelerate together. And I just wanted to mention it here because I was thinking about it today. And what I love about it is I don't have a lot of time to do one-on-one coaching, especially at the director plus VP level. But in this environment, I can really provide impact. I can give guidance. And yes, I'm a coach, but I give advice. So if you're interested in it, go to negotiationlove.com. I'd love to see you there. It's something that your company would definitely invest in. So if you're interested, go to negotiationlove.com. I just love this topic so much because in my career, my differentiator and my accelerations happened when I had the right people around me. And at first I just did what the organization told me. I was a part of a mentor program. I became a mentee and then I was a mentor. I had mentees in the organization that I led. I had unofficial ones. I had an executive coach that was assigned to me that he alone really helped me unlock the power of having somebody else around you. And I also had a sponsor. I was lucky enough to have a very powerful sponsor in my corner. I'm going to talk about all of those. And I'm going to tell you, it is very important that you don't just surround yourself with these people, but you select the right ones in all of these categories that are going to serve you the best. And that's up to you. It's not about it being assigned to you. It's about you seeking them and committing that for your own career. And I call it, instead of a board of directors, I feel like that's a kind of older term, I'll say. But the idea of that is your career leverage sphere. It's the leverage that you need and the circle around you so that you can be an accelerant in your own career. You know what? Your career is not the responsibility of somebody else, but so many people think that. Our career is what we make of it. It's not just in the role and where you're going to be promoted from here and then where the company's going to take you from there, or the things that your boss allows you to participate in or they invest in for you. This is about who can you get in your corner, who in your sphere that you can leverage all throughout your career. So I really want you to think about who is your career leverage sphere. Who are those people? And do you need to refresh them if you have some in there? They help you think bigger. They help you think beyond your current role. They help you see your blind spots. They can tell you things and give you perspective and context of the things that are happening around you that you might not be aware of. They can advocate for you when you're not in the room so that you can have access to things that you didn't even know were available. So if you're not investing in your career leverage sphere, you're not investing in you. You have to have the right people around you. Don't overthink it. Actually, these people can help you so you don't. They can push you through to action and get you to move forward and give you the courage to do it too. It's so interesting how if somebody just tells you, this happens to me all the time. If somebody just tells me, Susie, you could go speak on that stage. I'm like, all right, I'm worthy. I'll do it. Different perspectives of you can give you that vote of confidence, that push that you really need. Oh, it's such an important topic because it means so much to me when somebody tells me, Susie, your advice that you gave me 3 years ago has served me. I didn't see that for myself. Wow, you just unlocked something for me. So you need to have those people that give you those aha moments, those accelerations. I had a good friend of mine early in my career, Dorothy Kelly, who told me that you go through different plateaus in your career. And then you all of a sudden have these aha moments where you just accelerate. And it's the people around you that help you do that. So as I always do, I looked up some research just to see what some of the leadership expertise and people that do research like Harvard and some of those groups talk about, Gallup. And they found that people that invest in meaningful coaches, mentors, sponsor, have faster promotions, higher confidence. I mean, that I think is a really important key. They're more satisfied with their career because they've been able to look at it from a lot of different perspectives and see where they are. Sometimes I coach people that are really pushing toward the next thing, and we together discover that they're really happy where they are, and they're satisfied, and it's working for them now. They just want to invest in different ways, but they're not ready to make a drastic move. And it makes you more effective as a leader. Sometimes, we get feedback in our organization, but there's nothing like somebody that really sees it from your perspective. So one Harvard Business Review study found that people with mentors are 5 times more likely to get promoted. 5 times more likely because they're given the courage, but the context, the timing, the giving more pieces of leverage of thinking about the things around that they need to consider. Because a lot of times mentors have done it. A lot of times mentors are internal, so they know the right people, they know the process that can give you a lot of context that's really helpful. And people who have sponsors are more likely to get high visibility assignments and stretch roles, the kinds that really move careers forward. And sometimes we don't even know those are possible. I remember when my peer Dan would get things that I were like, why did he get that? And when I talked to my boss about it, I recognized and realized that he just asked to be in the circles. And when things came up, he would raise his hand. And I just wasn't in those rooms. I was just waiting. My boss said to me, well, Dan just asks. You just wait. So having those moments in that context, it's super helpful. It's not luck, it's leverage. You can leverage these people to make you better. So let's talk about these 3 different roles because they're very different. An executive coach, a mentor, and a sponsor. So an executive coach is typically somebody that you hire from the outside. A lot of organizations support that, and they put that investment in for people, especially high performers, people that are leaders that they really want to accelerate their growth because they understand that executive coaches really help people see what they need to see. It's a partner. It's somebody that you can gain perspective from. And what I love about an executive coach is they don't have an ulterior motive. The other 2 that we're going to talk about have, not an intentional bias. Maybe they really want to help you, but they see things through the lens of the company, through some of the challenges. Sometimes some mentors may not be the best fit because they're more about how can this help me instead of putting your priorities first. So an executive coach is the only reason they're there is for you. It's your time. So many times, and don't overthink it. An executive coach, sometimes people show up. I've worked with one executive for almost 5 years, and we meet every other week. Sometimes we tackle really big things, but sometimes she just shows up and she says, I just need to talk out loud. I just need somebody to hear me. So a great coach helps you see patterns, gives you honest feedback, think beyond your current role. And let me say, they give you honest feedback. They give you perspective that might be hard to hear sometimes. If you have an executive coach that isn't doing that, that's just making you feel good, you might want to think about changing that. I think it's so important that, I can tell when people are honest or open to feedback. And I won't give them feedback if I don't think they're open to it because they won't apply it anyway. But I love the people that are open to it and the ones that I can be really honest with and give them that feedback. I will try to give every person the feedback that I think they need, but I am careful how I frame it depending on that person. And you want to be the person that people feel they can give you that feedback. So think about an executive coach. There's a lot of different ways to get an executive coach. Don't ever get an executive coach or don't think you have an executive coach if it's somebody from like an internal resource. Great to have somebody that is coaching you, but that's not really an executive coach. That's somebody that's giving you advice from the lens of the company. An executive coach is really different. I just want to make sure that you understand that distinction. So the next is a mentor. And I think there's great mentor programs out there. You could be aligned with a great person. You should always participate if your company has mentor programs or if there's one in the industry. I think that's good for your visibility. It's good for your experience. But I also think you need to find a mentor that you choose. And don't find somebody that is aligned with your boss or right aligned. Not that you want somebody that's not aligned with your boss, but get somebody within the organization that can give you perspective and context of the organization, but may not be right in line with it might not be, in the close up org chart. There's so many people that don't think about, you could reach out to somebody in the organization that you really respect, maybe not somebody that's 3 levels above you. Look for a mentor that's 1 or 2 levels above you and think about how it would feel to somebody to say, hey, could you be my mentor? And already decide, I want to meet with you once a month. This would really help my perspective. I'll bring all of the to-dos. I'll give you my goals. That's your responsibility. The mentee always brings, quote unquote, the context or the content. So finding a mentor is somebody that can give you contextual help, that can help you see, and even blind spots, how you're seen, how to build your influence. How do you go through, getting a promotion or getting more exposure or even helping you see different ways of looking at the organization? It's so important. I think internal mentors are really great for that. If you get an outside mentor from the industry, also really good. Really lean into how can they help you and understand how much they know of your organization. Because remember, mentors are not typically trained in what they should tell you or how to frame things for you. So think about what value could they provide to you and make your goals around that. So if it's an industry person, maybe they help introduce you or help you think through who you need to know in the industry. Be honest with yourself about how much they know about your organization in terms of giving you advice around that. So a mentor, think about them. It's something that you definitely drive the conversations. What guidance do you want? Working on your executive presence, that it's somebody that has a view of you. Now that they're not necessarily giving you advice, but they're helping you maneuver. The last one's a sponsor, and a sponsor is really different. A sponsor is somebody that is in a place of influence, definitely in the organization. Sponsors are great, especially if they're in the industry or their senior leader. I had a sponsor. So I had left the organization. It was with Comcast. I had stayed in touch. This was my boss's boss's boss. And he was my sponsor. And he would do things like, I didn't know he was doing this, but when I was looking for a role, I sent him my resume and he forwarded it on to people internally and externally that he knew. So he leveraged his network. And somebody that I knew got the email and they said, look what John is doing for you. A sponsor thinks about you. They think about what can they leverage? What influence do they have? Who can they connect you with? And a sponsor is really great if they're internal to the organization, because when you're not in the room, a sponsor will go, I think Susie would be a really great asset here. What do you guys think about having her involved in this? It's somebody that will proactively act on your behalf. So sponsors are few and far between, and you have to be grateful if you have one, but make sure that you tell them, I want you to be my sponsor, and help them understand what that means to be a sponsor, because I don't think a lot of people know what that means. And set expectations. For all of these, you should always set expectations of what your outcome should be and how you would like the relationship to go, how often you want to meet, what the expectations are, and honor their time. This is super important. Even as an executive coach, when I'm getting paid, and not so many people, if you cancel last minute with me and it happens once, that's fine. But it happens all the time and I become the lowest on your list. That changes the way that I see you. And you never know who I know that might ask me. Mentors are the same and sponsors are the same. Be careful if you don't honor the relationship. It can actually be a detriment to you. And you don't want that. You want people to see you and respect you, because you're building this relationship. You're building this person as a part of your sphere. They might be active right now, that maybe your active mentor, but as you create this list of your career leverage sphere, it's a list, a live document. Picture it this way. It's a live document of people that are a mentor now, who are a mentor last year, who are a mentor in the future, a sponsor. Maybe you have various executive coaches, maybe you have one. The investment in you is important. So choose intentionally. Don't just accept whoever shows up. And if it's not working, go through it, but be honoring to them. Don't just not show up, and make sure that it's a good fit for you and for them. So pick people that will challenge you. Be really, really clear about what you want and what the expectations are. And I would say for a mentor and a sponsor, maybe look for a new one every 6 months. It depends on the relationship, but make it a regular cadence. We think of this, maybe you hear this and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, but you have to keep doing it. Listen, I have worked and continue to invest in people that I've worked with for years. You can work with somebody for a long time that can continue to challenge you. You just have to find the right fit. When you find the right fit, you just know. So it accelerates your career because it gives you that confidence. It gives you perspective. It helps you see your blind spots. Sometimes it's so good to hear it from somebody that's outside the organization, and then you can work on it. It just stings differently. And that they're telling you because it's an investment in you. So really think about, who are these people for you? Do you need an executive coach? And the first thing I would say, go start advocating for yourself. Get your company to sponsor it. It doesn't mean that your coach will tell them what you talk about. It just means that if there's that opportunity, ask. Always ask, right? That's in line with what I talk about. Ask, and then find the right fit for you in terms of an executive coach. Think about a mentor, and you don't have to do all three at once. Maybe you do a different one every 6 months. Maybe you always have an executive coach and you flip from a mentor to a sponsor. Like, don't think that there's a one size fits all in terms of how you set up the cadence for you, but think about what would serve you, what would accelerate your career. Maybe you're stuck and you didn't even know it. I was really excited about this one because This is such an important differentiator. And I was lucky enough to have seen the impact it had on me. And it made me, kind of woke me up to, I have to remember to do this. I have a good friend who is a senior vice president at a Fortune 50 company. And I remember she said, it's really disappointing to me that more people don't ask me to mentor them. Think about that. She expected people to come to her and ask her to be their mentor. She wanted it. It was kind of like she wanted an ego boost around that. Like, so take that as a little bit of leverage you can use. Maybe frame it differently. That's not all just for you. It's for somebody else too. So who are those people going to be? I would love to hear from you about this. If you think somebody needs to hear this, maybe if your boss needs to hear this, about the differentiation between the three. Everybody has different interpretations of these three. So this is Susie's lens on this. This is from my experience. It's from my client's experience. So this is how I see the world. And I think this is something that you have to do. Who are in your career leverage sphere? It's not fear. It's sphere. So glad you made the choice to be here today. Thank you. And continue to show up here. I am here to invest and provide impact for people based on what I talk about with other people and what I've experienced. I'd love to hear your story. Reach out to me. If you're interested in working with me, there's a lot of ways to do that as well. So let's stay in the network or just show up here and learn along the way. I'm so glad you're here. And until next time, I'm Susie, and I'll see you there.